Hello, team. I will be testing out the Google Meets recording system, seeing if it's better than, I don't know if it's Vimeo or Vimeo. But this class, episode 3, is our first grammar-centric class. I like to start the year with some grammar points, quick review, because later on, when we reach April, when we reach July, when we reach October, you can use these as reference. And I always try to make them uh, not entertaining, but at least more interesting than just these lists that you will find online. Why? Because if you just need quick information, the Google's right there. You just type it in, you'll find whatever you need. So I try to find an easier way for you to digest it. All right. Today we're going to be examining the difference between the simple and the continuous. These are two terms that I will use throughout the season. Present simple, I teach English. Present continuous, I am teaching English. If we do this in the past, I taught English. I was teaching English in the past continuous. So this will be true for all times, but today we're focusing on the present. Start you off with a little Kung Fu Panda. I've never seen this movie, but I still love this quote. Quick warm-up. Answer the questions kind of automatically, whatever comes to mind. That's the point. See that you already used the simple and the continuous correctly. This is just to kind of formalize. You'll be like, okay, all right, I'm already doing it. And that's why it's the warm-up. It shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes. Next up, we have a quick review of some of the little details where people can make mistakes with the simple and the continuous. I'm going to go over them right now. Simple. I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. It transmits facts. This is let's say the main goal of this class is for you to understand this difference. The simple is fact-centric. I tell you, I teach English. You go, okay, I live in Brazil. Cool. I like bacon. All right. I play Mario Kart. All right. And if you use the continuous, I am teaching English. I am playing Mario Kart. We are watching soccer. She is cooking dinner. All of these sentences will kind of make you think about the action. With the simple, we need to use the do in the negative and the interrogative. For my Brazilian students, you might be asking me, but why? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to go back into the past and talk to whoever decided that we were going to use the auxiliaries in English, but we do. You can't just say, I not like sushi. You need to have the not after an auxiliary. And with some tenses, it'll just be there, but with the simple, it's not. So you need to add the do in the negative and the interrogative. For example, I don't like sushi. Or do you like sushi? Remember, you always do the parrot thing when you're answering yes or no. Do you like sushi? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Not yes, I like. No, I don't like. Or no, I don't like would be fine. But you can't just use no, yes, I like. I don't even know the wrong answer for that. It'd be no, I not like. No, you'd be yes, I do, or no, I don't would be the correct way of saying it. For those of you who've seen Gossip Girl, I call this the Serena S, the Gossip S, because in the third person singular, I'm talking about he, she, Ozzy, the plant, the traffic, the mayor, the streets, work, any of these. If I'm talking about third person singular, I need that S, no exception. Go, goes, play, plays, eat, eats, sleep, sleeps, do, does. You might have some spelling variations, but the S will be there. Is, for to be the most irregular. So you will always have that S in third person singular. Also, this is a rule of thumb, which means it's not an official rule, but it's a general rule. We will usually use the present simple with adverbs of frequency. I always wake up at 5. I normally eat pancakes for breakfast. Sometimes I go to the zoo. So you will usually use these adverbs of frequency with the present simple. Here's a quick exercise just to get your brain into the simple mode. And here are some comparisons. So, permanent and temporary. If I say, I live in Belo Horizonte, and I say, I am living in Belo Horizonte, while they're both correct, if I say, I live in Belo Horizonte, it sounds more permanent, okay? So he's a Belo Horizontinian. That's where he's going to die. He was born and raised. If If I say I am living in Belo Horizonte, it sounds like something that is temporary. We also use a simple for habits and routines. Let me zoom in a little bit. Habits and routines. So using the example, I wake up at 5, but maybe there's 1 week where I need to do something really early every day. So I can say I am waking up at 5. It's something that is happening this week, but it's going to end. General situation. So if I say I play soccer, it just means in general. It doesn't mean I am on the field. If I say I am playing soccer, we're talking about that specific game. You know, beep, the ref blows the whistle, that's it. And like I said, I'm going to repeat this. The simple is fact-centric, while the continuous is action-centric. Revolves around the simple, the fact, or the continuous, the action. Next up, present continuous. Personally, I think it's a little bit easier. I see less difficulties with this with my students, but always with the appropriate form of to be. This is where I see the mistake. Either the person uses the wrong form of to be. For example, I is teaching. No, I am teaching. So you need to get the correct form of to be. But what usually happens is people just leave it out. I swimming. No. So if you get this right, the ing is free. Swim, swimming. Do, doing. Play, playing. Eat, eating. There's going to be no variation. The spelling sometimes with a letter, but the way you pronounce it will always be the same. Just add the ing sound. So this is where I sometimes see the mistake. To be. Because we are always going to have to be, you just add not. No need for do, no does, none of that. I am swimming, I am not swimming. He is studying, he isn't studying. So just add the not after the to be. Quick reminder, amn't doesn't exist, and ain't is only in old country rock songs. You can't say ain't. Please, not if you're my student. Just don't. It's when it's a artistic license to sound correct. There really is no use for it. When you're asking a question, we're going to flip it around. In Portuguese, we kind of do it with our voice. So it'd be, you like sushi would be the way that you state, and then you like sushi in Portuguese. But you can't do that in English. You need to have the auxiliary. Up top of the simple, it'd be do. Here, we're just going to flip the order around. So instead of you are studying, it's going to be are you studying? You are teaching English will become are you teaching English? So the voice still does go up, but you need to flip the words around. And one interesting thing about English is that from the first word, you know if it's a question or not. If you see the question starting with is, are, with have, that's a big one for my Brazilian students. You know it's going to be a question. Sometimes in Portuguese, you'll reach the end of the sentence, and then you'll see the question mark. Oh, you know, that was a question. That's why in Spanish, they have that upside down question mark right from the beginning of the sentence. So again, rule of thumb, a general rule, if you're using words like now, at the moment, currently, nowadays, it's probably going to be the ing form. I am working, we are playing, she is doing. And one more question, just to get you prepared with the continuous form. So what are you working on or doing right now at your work, at your school? Objective 2, yes, you. This is just to practice what we've seen. Speak for 5 minutes. If you have a partner, take turns doing it. If you're by yourself, guys, you're going to see an activity in a couple minutes. Stop being embarrassed of filming yourself. You don't need to share it. You don't need to post it, but you should feel comfortable with the way you speak. If not, it's going to be a lot harder for you to improve your language, you know, and your communication, I guess, in general. But I'm an English teacher, so I'm speaking about English specifically. So a couple questions, but you can talk about whatever you want. Mr. Javi, he did a great one. He actually ended up speaking for 7 minutes because he kept finding stuff to talk about. That will probably be the case. Once you start, you find more things. And it's better to be able to do this now because then when the interview comes around and you're going to feel like this cat. Oh, no, I don't want to talk about myself. Conversation starters, just some different questions. Guys, I'm sorry if my energy level is not at 10. We've been moving. I had to help paint the house, the apartment yesterday. Thank God for my uncle-in-law, Neng, who saved us. He got the apartment ready to return to the realtor. But I'm a little bit tired. So, and I said I wasn't going to say this, but today I'm allowed to. So let me pick one of these questions to answer. Um, what is something you hardly ever do but would like to do more? This year, I made a deal with myself. I want to visit more friends who live far away. Last year we stayed home most of the year, so I want to visit more friends. I hardly ever travel. Those weekend travels just by car. So I would like to do more. We call them staycations. It's vacations that are close to home to visit some old friends. That's my pick of the question I'm going to answer today. Saudade, it is an English word. It was taken from Portuguese. It was appropriately appropriated. Hardly ever. It's just a term that I don't hear my students use much. Just means rarely. Currently, this is one that my students make a mistake with because actually sounds like the way we say currently in Portuguese. Remember, actually means, I did this, it's true. And currently means at the moment. Last up, your challenge is called Camera Shy. Throughout the year, I'm going to be asking you guys to do these activities. While you never have to share them, you don't even need to show me, you should start getting used to filming yourself speaking. This is one of the best ways, I was going to say only ways, but of course there are other ways. It's one of the best ways that you by yourself can improve your pronunciation. So get used to it. The first time will be the worst, the second time will be better, and it'll keep going from there. You are here to practice to improve your English, so I'm telling you that's what you need to do. Team, that's up. So don't be a potato. That's my final message. I will see you in class.